In this video, I'm going to discuss about the cell. You know that every organism begins its life as a single cell. Even the largest banyan tree or an elephant or human being begin life from a single cell. This single cell undergoes repeated divisions to become a complete living organisms, and thus we can say that the cell is the basic unit of life. For this reason, cells are also known as the building blocks of life. So, we can define cell as a basic structural and functional unit of all living things. The word cell is derived from the Latin word cella, and the meaning of cella is a compartment. And the branch of biology which deals with the study of cells is called cytology. Clear? Now the question comes that who first saw the cell? Who first recognized the cell? Clear? So the answer is Antony van Leeuwenhoek. He developed a simple microscope, and in this microscope he used a single biconvex lens. He was the first to see the cells, and recognize them as living units of all living beings. He did not call them cells. Then the question comes that if he did not call them cells, then who called them cells? Who coined the term cell? And the answer is Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke developed a microscope to observe different objects using two lenses. You can see the microscope on the screen. But the type of microscope that we use in our school laboratories is the compound microscope, and that is quite different from the microscope used by the Robert Hooke. Clear? So this compound microscope you can see on the screen also. Now next is the Robert Hooke had only seen the walls of dead cells. So when is a cell called a living? Robert Hooke examined a very thin slice of a dead cork and observed a cluster of box-like cubicles piled up together, and so he was the first to call them cells. Robert Hooke had only seen the walls of dead cells. Now the question comes in the mind that when is a cell called a living cell? What is dead cell? So the answer is a cell is said to be living when it contains a jelly-like substance called the protoplasm. So when this protoplasm is present in the cell is living. When this protoplasm is absent in the cell is dead. Now again the question comes in our mind that what is protoplasm? So the answer is we can define protoplasm that protoplasm is the living substance of the cell. It is made up of cytoplasm and nucleus. Clear? Now I am going to discuss about the cells, their numbers, the shapes and the sizes. So on the basis of the number of cells, the organisms have been categorized as unicellular or multicellular. So organisms whose body is made up of just one single cell are called unicellular organisms. Uni means single, means the whole body is made up of what? Single cell. And the examples are bacteria, yeast, amoeba, paramecium, chlamydomonas. In all, what happens? The whole body is made up of just one single cell. Next is the multicellular organisms. Multi means many. So it's very clear by the name that organisms whose body is made up of millions and billions of cells, then the organisms are called multicellular organisms. And the examples are rose, people, neem, human beings, lion, frog, deer, etc. Clear? Now, cell shape. There is a great variety in the shape of cells. It can be oval, spherical, rectangular, irregular, elongated, etc. The cell shape is determined by the function of the cell. Means what? Means the shape of the cell is according to the function. That shape helps that cell to perform some specific function. So the first, let's discuss about the spherical shape. It is present in RBC. Yes, this spherical shaped cell is present in RBC. Means we can say that the shape of the RBC cell is what? Spherical, clear, or disc like. So the RBC means red blood cells. So the red blood cells are spherical or disc shaped structures. Their specific shape enables them to hold more oxygen and easily flow through the fine inner lumen of blood capillaries. Next is oval shape, and the examples are Chlamydomonas. Clear? So Chlamydomonas is a unicellular green algae, and the shape of the body of Chlamydomonas is oval. Their single-celled body is oval in the shape. Next is cylindrical. Spirogyra is a multicellular green algae, and their cells are cylindrical in shape with spiral ribbon-shaped chloroplast. Even the another muscles like the heart muscles too is cylindrical in shape for easy contraction and relaxation. Heart muscles also called as what? Cardiac muscles. Clear? Next is amoeboid. Amoeboid shape is present in amoeba. The single-celled body of the freshwater amoeba has no definite shape. Hence, it is said to be irregular in shape. The white blood cells in our body are also amoeboid. Means what? They don't have the definite shape. They are what? Irregular shape. Next is cubical or rectangular shape. The cells of the leaf are cubical or rectangular. You can see the shape on the screen also. In fact, plants also have a variety of cell shapes from cubical to polygonal as well as elongated and tubular. Uniquely shape means their shapes are what? Unique shape. Clear? Like the paramecium. So the shape of the paramecium is what? Sleeper shaped. The body of paramecium is single. The body of this paramecium is what? Shape of the sleeper, and paramecium is single-celled organisms. Clear? Hence, it is often called the sleeper-shaped animalcule. Next is spindle-shaped. The smooth muscles in our body are thin, long, and tapering at the ends, and resembles like a spindle. Okay. Next, the cell size. There is a huge variety in the size of the cells. The great majority of cells are very small and they can be seen only with the help of a microscope. However, there is a great range in their sizes. So the first is the smallest cells are found among bacteria, and it varies from 0.2 to 0.5 micrometer. The longest cells are the nerve cells, and its length is up to 3 meter. The largest cell is an ostrich egg. Now let's start the cell theory. Cell theory formulated by 3 scientists, and the names of these 3 scientists are number 1 Sheldon, number 2 Schwann, and number 3 Virchow. They formulated the cell theory like this. Point number 1. Every living organism is made up of one or many cells. Number 2. The cell is the structural unit of all living organisms. Number 3. The cell is the functional unit of all living organisms. All activities performed by an organism are due to the activities of its cells. And fourth, all cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Now, next I am going to discuss cell as the functional unit of life. Every function inside the body of living organisms is the result of cellular activity. So let's discuss this first in plants. In plants, root cells does the function of absorption of water and minerals. It is the cells of the roots through which plants absorb water and dissolve minerals from the soil. If the root cells die for any reason, the plants will wilt and die. Next example, leaf cells. Leaf cells does the function of manufacture of food. It is the chlorophyll containing cells of the leaves which utilize sunlight, carbon dioxide and water to prepare food for the plant. This process of preparing food by the plants is known as photosynthesis. Cell as the functional unit of life happens in animals also. For example, muscle cells. Muscle cells helps in the movement of body parts. It is the ability of the muscle cells to contract and relax. Next, nerve cells. Nerve cells helps in conduction of messages in the form of impulses. Next, gland cells. Gland cells is the cells of various glands which secrete enzymes that digest the food. And next, skin cells. Skin cells helps in protection of our body. The skin, being the outermost covering of the body, protects our body from various external factors like germs and ultraviolet rays. It also helps in regulating the temperature of the body. Clear? So this much is for this video. Next topic in the next video. Thank you.